Hey guys, Mix here, and in today's video we're going to be continuing repainting the Corvette T-tops. So if you guys are new and this is your first video in this little series, I have a 1972 Corvette that has really bad paint and it's completely fiberglass, $10,000 to $15,000 to get someone else to do it. Long story short, I'm learning on just the T-tops right now, and so far it's coming out amazing. And today we're actually going to be finishing the T-tops as long as all goes well. So as you can see, the T-tops are not in here. I have them out here already, ready to get sanded and cleaned up and everything, but I have like my walls and everything all cleaned up. And this time I'm using duct tape to hold them up instead of painter's tape. So far it's been much stronger. But in this box we have the final components that the T-tops need. So, in last video, we went ahead and put on the 2K primer, and that still has to get sanded, so that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be starting off with 320 grit, and then working up to 600 grit. And then once I'm done with that, then I'm going to show you guys what's in the box, and, well, we'll be finishing these things up. But these have been sitting in the shed for a while, so they are pretty dirty, so I do want to clean them up before sanding. And apparently there is, like, some time apparently before or like after you could do the top coat on top of the 2K primer, so that's why I waited this long to sand it so it has a nice fresh clean surface on top, so hopefully it adheres as good as possible. I already went ahead and filled up my compressor a little bit, so we're all good there. I've been waiting for this moment for a while, so I'm definitely pretty excited. So I'm just gonna get my mask, I'm just gonna put on my suit, gloves and everything, and then we're just gonna sand that real quick, get it nice and smooth. The 2K does lay down a little bit rough, but once you sand it, it should get nice and smooth. And this definitely has to be smooth because, well, this is the big factor of how it's gonna look in the final product. So, with that being said, let's get started on sanding those T-tops. So I just brought the T-tops inside, and basically what I'm just going to do right now is just wipe them down with some surface cleaner, probably blow them off one more time, and then it's time to lay down the paint and clear coat, which is what I have in the box. So now I'll show you guys. So what I went ahead and got was a Hot Rod Gloss Electron Blue Pearl. It is a darker shade of the blue that I have on it now. You can kind of see a little bit of a blotch of it, and that looks pretty dang good. But it says do 2 wet coats. Okay, do not cut or buff. And then the clear I got for that was a Ultra Flow urethane clear. It's also like a a hot rod clear that they use to give it a nice gloss metallic look, which is what I really wanted. I want it to look wet almost. Both of which are from Custom Shop, but I got them on TCP Global. I ordered these about 2 weeks ago and they just showed up right, like literally half hour ago. I don't know if they had to like mix it up or everything, but when I'm painting the whole Corvette, and if I do need more, then I'll probably have to order that, much more in advance, so I don't have to sit around and wait for a while. But they both are 2-step paints and clears, so I do have to mix them up. And this one is for the clear. It also came with a couple, filters to pour in and a bunch of little sticks, which is great. But anyway guys, with that being said, I do want to go ahead and prep the surface of this, get it nice and clean, and then I guess just begin mixing everything up, mix up the paint, get the gun ready, and, well, lay down the first coat of paint. This I'm definitely the most nervous about, more nervous than the epoxy primer, more nervous than the 2K, just because, well, not only is that paint really expensive compared to the primers, but if I mess up then it's going to be a pain to fix. So I'm going to do my best to get these as clean as possible. Alright, so now I just want to hit with the spray gun just one last time with some really, really light PSI, and then I'm just going to run through it one more time with the rag, and then we're going to go into my little mixing room back there and start mixing up the paint, and then we'll lay down the first coat. Alright guys, so we're back here in the mixing station. I am all ready to go. I just got the spray gun all ready. So what I'm going to do is just shake this up really, really good. Pop in the filter. Oh yeah, that is going to look good. We're doing a 4-to-1 mixture. Now I'm going to mix it up. That looks absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to see how this looks. So guys, the first coat is done and this color looks absolutely amazing. This color is exactly what I've been looking for, exactly what I wanted for this car. And this, it doesn't even have the clear coat on it yet, which is pretty amazing, and it already looks this wet. Then again, the paint is wet, but this is the first coat and it is done. It looks a little bit more purpley and darker on camera, but in real life it has a really, really nice blue in it. And once it dries, it is going to get a little bit lighter. So now all I have to wait is like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I can apply the second coat. So guys, the second coat is on, and something, not the end of the world, but very, very annoying just happened. I was just walking into the shed and I accidentally hit the fan, and then the fan hit the tripod, and then the camera, well, the camera, it hit the paint, of course. So that absolutely sucks. It really does mess up a lot of things. And now I gotta let it dry. Now I gotta sand that out, gotta mix it up again, and then I gotta respray it, which absolutely sucks and definitely puts a big dent in the time that I have. I'm just gonna catch you guys back once I just fix that up. And once it dries, and I can sand it again and then spray over it. There's also a good size, like, I don't know what it is. You can see right there, that kind of like mark right there, yep. Try and sand that out also and try and redo it. But other than that, it does look pretty good. Alrighty guys, so we are actually back here 2 days later from what you guys last saw when I last talked to you all. And that is because when that camera fell, it started a avalanche of just unfortunate events, one after another. So what I first did once the camera fell is I let that, I let the T-top dry, and then I ended up sanding the area so it, it's flattened out again, because it did put a pretty nice indent in the paint itself. Once I sanded it down, I went ahead and sprayed it over, and it actually looked pretty nice. And I actually sanded down on the other T-top a run, and once I sanded that down, I sprayed it over, and it looked pretty good until it started to dry. And what I realized is that when I sprayed it, being that I was just spraying that one area, around that area was basically overspray, so it had a big dole surrounding around it. So I was like, alright, I'll put painter's tape around the area and then do a, a heavier coat so it's all equal in that area. So I do that, I lift up the painter's tape, and I find a big outline of where the tape was in the paint. So I'm like, oh, great, that's just wonderful. So I let that dry, and then I tried to like wipe it to see if maybe it was just like residue from the tape. Nope, it's actually paint. So I sanded the outlines to try and, get that ridge away. And then I ended up just respraying the entire T-tops, both of them. I let that dry, and the ridges were still kind of visible. Not as much, but still pretty visible. Then I tried putting down another coat, still kind of visible, but not bad. So that leaves me to here in several mixes of paint later, several hours later, all because of the camera falling onto the paint. So right now I have the T-tops here, and I just kind of made the decision. I'm just going to clear coat them now. I think this is as good as I could do right now, because I'm just wasting so much paint supplies just on these T-tops when I know what I can do based on what should have been the outcome if the camera hadn't fallen on the T-top. And then the series of events after that, which I've now learned from. When it does come to doing the entire car, I'm going to learn from this, and I think it's going to come out way better than the T-tops, as long as I keep the camera away from them. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to wipe down the area. I just filled up my compressor, cleaned out my gun because it was covered in blue paint. As you can see, I was just having a whole ton of problems off camera. And then I'm going to start mixing the clear coat and applying it to the T-tops. I'm at the point where just like trying to get them absolutely perfect, it's not even worth it. I'm really going to have these off most of the time, especially this summer. Whenever it's hot out, I always take them off because obviously there's no AC or nothing. And it does get a little fumey in there. But I'm not going to get super crazy with this. I'm just going to get them done, put the clear coat on them. And I know when I do the whole entire car, it's going to look much, much better. Not saying that this looks bad, but it could be better if the camera didn't fail. I already told you guys 1,000 times. So let's just go ahead. I'm just going to mix up the clear coat quick, clean this area, and lay down the clear coat so we can put an end to painting these T-tops. So guys, the first coat of clear coat is on and it is looking really, really good. This color does not really reveal itself under these lights, but when it's under sunlight, that is when we're really going to see this true color shine. So I'm going to wait a couple minutes and then I'm going to be applying the second coat. That one I did a little bit light. This one I'm going to go on a little bit heavier, and then I might do a third. So guys, I just finished up the second coat and it is looking really, really good. But I'm going to let this dry overnight before I even think about touching it. I'm going to lock up this place and, make sure, I get no dust in here. I'm going to catch you guys back tomorrow morning when these should be dry enough to, pick up. And then we're going to bring it out in the sun so we can really see how it looks. So with that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow. So guys, we are back here a little over 48 hours later from the last clip, and the clear coat is all done curing. So what I'm actually going to be doing is we're not done yet. Yesterday I went out and got a ton of stuff because we are going to cut and buff these. So basically what that does is gives it a mirror finish. So right now it's like not too bad, like, you could see pretty well in there. But this takes off junk that got caught on like the clear coat layer and everything, and really cleans it up. So I'm going to be doing that for the first time. But what I want to do is bring them outside, and you guys are going to see this for the first time under sunlight, and it completely transforms. Like right now it looks pretty good, but just wait until you see it in the sunlight. So guys, here is the T-top under sunlight. It looks absolutely amazing. The sparkle in it looks just unreal, and I cannot wait to see what it looks like after we cut and buff it. But I mean, for painting it in my shed, I don't think it's too bad. And the color choice, I don't think I could have done a better color. So I'm just going to start off with one right now in case it doesn't come out that good. I don't ruin both at the same time. Basically, I have 1500 grit, 2500 grit, and 3000 grit, and you just wet sand it. And then once you're done wet sanding it, you go ahead and buff it with a wheel. Seems pretty simple. We'll see how this goes. So guys, I just finished up cutting and buffing the first T-top, and it turned out actually better than I thought it was. It took out all of the junk that was in the paint, and there was a lot. I'll compare the other one that I haven't done yet with this one. Like, stuff and pollen in the air keep falling on it, but every time I try and wipe it down, it just keeps getting dirtier, but the paint itself looks amazing. So here is a closer look. I still have to clean up the trim a little bit more, but it is like a mirror. All of that junk that was in it before is gone. I hope that the sparkle could come out on camera good, because in real life the sparkle is insane. It's a lot more than I thought it was gonna have, but I like it. And it's so smooth. Before it felt a little bit rough and you actually like could hear your fingertips glide across it. Now it's just smooth as can be. I'm gonna pull out the second one and then do side by side just to show you guys exactly what the cutting and buffing did. Here's the one I haven't done yet, so it's gonna be a little bit hard to tell, but all throughout the paint there are little particles all under the clear coat along with orange peel. So if you look in like the reflection, you can see how it has that orange peel effect and it's not very mirror like. And then if we come over to the one I just did, much more mirror like. There are really no particles in the paint compared to how it was before. Over here there are a good bit. It's like little craters all around the paint. See, no orange peel in the one I just did. And if we go over to the same spot, you can see how the texture right over there, you can really see it, how much it actually got rid of on this one. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna do that one. I'm not even gonna bother recording it, but I'll catch you guys back once I'm all done doing it, and then we'll go ahead and throw them on the car and see how it compares to the old paint and just see how it looks on the car. So that being said, I'll catch you all once it's all done. So guys, I just finished the second T-top, and as you can see, I'm out here with the Corvette, and that's because they're on, and I'm very happy how they look. So guys, here are the T-tops on, and it looks absolutely awesome. On camera, I'm not sure how well it's gonna come out. On camera, it looks nowhere near as good or as blue. It looks really purple on camera, but in real life, this is the perfect shade of blue that I was looking for. It is so nice to have a roof on the Corvette again, and it's really not too much of a difference. It's just a very, very slightly darker shade of blue that's on it now. So for the couple like good spots that are on here, like kind of over here is not bad, and the door, you could kind of compare it. So it's a little bit light, and then once the whole car is painted this nice dark deep blue, it's definitely going to look really good and actually be a little bit two-tone. So right now it looks a little bit darker, almost purple on camera at least, but when you look at it like straight on, it's more of a blue. So wherever you're looking at this, so for example, when that paints, you know, all over the body, right over here it's going to look really, really nicely blue, but on tops it's going to look a little bit darker. Despite all of the hardships that we faced while painting the T-tops, we learned along the way, and I learned from my mistakes, and I feel confident that I would be able to paint this thing and it come out pretty nice, and once again save myself literally $11,000, $12,000 by doing it myself. And I get to make a ton of content for you guys. But anyway guys, I'm going to be ending off this video here. This video took place over several days, whether it just be from, you know, constantly needing to fix mistakes or just letting it dry and everything like that. But I'm very happy that it is done, and I'm very happy with the results. So next up, I need to find a place to paint the whole car. I wanted to do it in my driveway, but I'm going to try and find a garage, like a warehouse or something that I could possibly like rent every month. And heck, if I end up keeping it, maybe get a car lift in there so we can work on the MG. But I'm definitely working on a couple things. So anyway guys, with that being said, comment down below on how you guys like the T-tops. But I'm going to be ending off here. Follow my social medias. They will be in the outro of this video. Instagram and Snapchat I use the most. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, friends with the channel.